The history of ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil started with Edwin Drake and Billy Smith in 1859. Drake and Smith were the original pioneers of oil exploration. They successfully drilled the first oil well in Titusville, Pennsylvania, that began an oil boom that still exists today. The boom was started only 10 years after the infamous gold rush and was equally as popular. The Standard Oil Company was created in 1870 by Rockefeller to supply consumers with oil. They were located in Ohio, with the largest firm and largest refinery capacity in the world. Standard Oil Company began to invest in other companies to expand their interests. They bought 3/4 interest of Vacuum Oil Company, which produced a very popular steam cylinder oil. In 1882, Standard Oil Trust includes Standard Oil Company of New Jersey, Jersey Standard, and Standard Oil Company of New York, Saucony. Rockefeller moves his company to New York into a 9-story building in 1885. Soon after, Vacuum releases gargoyle engine oils used for generators and motors operating at 1,000 RPMs. In 1911, the Standard Oil Company had to break up into 34 different companies due to a U.S. Supreme Court decision. In the same year, gasoline sales passed up kerosene sales, which surprised everybody due to gasoline being a slop product. Saucony expanded their markets by inventing small lamps that were sold in China that burned kerosene efficiently. In 1919, Jersey Standard obtains 50% interest in the Humble Oil and Refining of Texas. At this time, Humble Oil and Refining employed geologists to study core samples to help aid in finding oil in the ground. Jersey Standard also began producing the first petrochemical, isopropyl alcohol. In 1926, Jersey Standard released their new blend of fuel they named Esso. In 1936, the first cat cracking becomes operational at Saucony's Vacuum's Paulsboro, New Jersey refinery. Cat cracking used pieces of clay pots in the process to increase gasoline yields and octane ratings. Cat units are operational today and still a vital piece of equipment to the refinery. 12 years later, the Humble plant in Baytown began producing alkylate. Alkylation produces isooctane, which makes 100% octane fuel the airplanes run on. In 1942, world's first fluid catalytic cracker goes operational at Louisiana Standard's Baton Rouge refinery. The process, developed by 4 Jersey Standard researchers, improved on the Houdry method for cat cracking and over time became the industry standard for producing gasoline. Fortune magazine called it the most revolutionary chemical engineering achievement of the last 50 years. As technology moved forward, so did new ways to finding oil. In 1963, Humble invented a 3D seismograph technology that redefined how to search for oil and gas resources. This process uses parallel computers and seismic imaging to spot resources in the ground while reducing the price. In 1966, 100 years after Vacuum Oil Company was founded, they changed their name to Mobil One Corporation. Just 6 years later, in 1972, Jersey Standard changes their name to Exxon Corporation. From 1974 to 1976, Mobil really starts to make a name for themselves. They were the first to introduce synthetic oil to their consumers. Mobil participated in building Burl A, the world's first concrete production platform. This 50-story high structure was a prototype for other concrete deep water facilities operating in the North Sea. Mobil also invented a process to convert methanol into high-octane gasoline with the use of a new catalyst. In 1982, Exxon celebrates 100 years since the foundation of Standard Oil Trust in 1882. Exxon Research and Engineering creates an intense new imaging technique called 3D microtomography to study the internal structure of solid objects without damaging them. Exxon made great strides but suffered a great loss on March 24, 1989, when a tanker, Exxon Valdez, collided with Prince William Sound in Alaska, spilling thousands of gallons of oil. When a tanker, Exxon took full responsibility and cleaned up the spill immediately. Exxon pushed forward and introduced X-Pol. X-Pol is a catalyst that makes plastics and rubbers tougher and more durable with less haze and odor. November 30th, 1999, Exxon and Mobil combined to form ExxonMobil. Lee Raymond and Lou Noto said, "This merger will enhance our ability to be an effective global competitor in a volatile world economy and in industry. that is more and more competitive. In 2001, ExxonMobil creates scan finding, which uses new catalysts to remove 95% sulfur from gasoline without losing octane levels. In 2007, ExxonMobil finishes drilling the Z11 well at a depth of 37,000 feet in 16. This is the deepest well ever drilled and is located off the shore of eastern Russia. In 2011, ExxonMobil discovered a gas well deep underwater in the Gulf of Mexico. In conclusion, in the oil world was started by two people, Edwin Drake and Billy Smith. Their discovery led to cat cracking, alkylation, coking, and many other processes used to make fuel that we use every day. ExxonMobil is one of the leading companies in the world and has accomplished great things since they started.